Yo, what is good? My anime faithful, what is good, yo? Guys, we are truly in a position where anime, light novels, and all of the things in between are really just becoming closer and closer to movies and closer to like just ridiculously good art and man, to think that everything we see in this week's episode is kind of just like the tip of the iceberg feeling. It's interesting enough to say that if what happened in this week's episode didn't line up in certain aspects, certain things wouldn't have even been possible, which kind of freaks me out. Like, if he didn't happen to tamper with that machine and set up his way to start to go back in time, he might have missed his opportunity altogether to even save his mother. So, which is kind of weird that he doesn't even. I don't think we ever seen him call her mom. So, kind of a weird situation, like almost as if she's his stepmom or something like that. I'm not really sure, but overall, they just have that type of relationship, which is fine. Um, and to think that he changed so dramatically every single time he kept hopping through and seeing different alternate timelines practically playing out where he just couldn't rescue her. He would stop going so quickly. Still doesn't save her. Go as fast as he can. Still couldn't save her. So it started just getting to the point where what if I just what if I just give up? What if I just stop trying altogether? And that clearly wouldn't work. So he doesn't even try that. So he continues to go on and go on and go on. And sooner than later, he kind of just figures out that one of these outcomes that he's gotten is one of the best he's going to get as of now without any of the information that she asked him for when he first tried to help out in the first place by saying, "Oh, by the way, this guy he's working with the mafia, he's doing this, he's doing that." Like everything he had on him or thought that he had on him, he used it to his fullest and wound up not even getting, any type of progress from that. By telling the truth and not having proof, you got nothing. So he goes through to the timeline. And this is the cool thing about all this is because everything he experiences, he remembers it. So he remembers the way that he pretty much met up with that girl by just sitting in the cafe or whatever he was sitting in. He meets her, she pretty much just walks up on him and he asks if she was stalking him as if because he really didn't know she was going to be there at that time. But now it's more of, I'm here because I knew you were going to be here and you may be able to give me some information. And then by doing that, he has waited longer than that whole explanation she's giving him. He's been through the time period, like at a time date longer than this, and then still got to go back in time and try to fix everything. So this is nothing when it comes down to actually the time that he still has to go back and actually give it a chance to make everything right. So really, really smart use of how this ability works and why he can uh, pretty much spam the crap out of it. It just plays out really well, in my opinion. They don't really hold back too much on it when it comes down to, oh, this is really overpowered, but it's not like they're like, so we're gonna limit it. Like, no, the story is him having practically infinite possibilities at this point, and as soon as he found out that it wasn't gonna work out, he then made his possibilities even wider because he now had the information that he never knew about prior to going into this. With that information, it just makes him that much closer to changing it, and lo and behold, it does change a little bit, but only in the sense of giving his mother some time to think it out before slitting her wrist at the bathtub, and we still wind up seeing her almost doing it, just of the overall thought process of her life and whatnot. So this show definitely knows how to definitely knows how to push the boundaries in this in a good and bad way. Like in the overall case of just like they can push the boundaries as much as they want, as long as they don't cross them. Though animated style, I think Goblin Slayer is a good case to just follow after. Like, okay, so if we're putting this anime out and it's gonna wind up somehow in America, we can't do anything like this, or it's just gonna get backlash. um, so that'll probably be a little bit of a red flag for him. Who knows? I just hope that whatever happens within the show is, really actually good and part of what should happen in the case of making this character better for the end game, or completely telling us what is going to happen could blow my mind even more than what we've been learning so far in the case of uh, him not wanting to let his mother die, reading up about the information that he had, and pretty much learning that some of these things that happen within these worlds or within these times of using this contraption that he's using is you can't just continuously change everything in the case of if it's set in stone, seemingly. And if his mother's death was one of those set in stone things, he really couldn't do anything about it. But he wasn't trying to hear any of that. That might have been the case for people who couldn't use it as much as he can or something. But overall, I don't know. It feels like we're getting something pretty dope, and I can't wait to see where and what it kind of lands on in the full grand scheme of things. But with all that being said, I'm pretty sure we will be seeing a lot of this time travel ability in these types of situations. I think, yeah, this series is 26 episodes, so they also have no reason to not put as much like details into some of these arcs and stories. So that's kind of my hope, is we get a good explanation of where and what they're trying to do with this power, with the overall grand scheme of it, and what it could mean. Nonetheless, we're gonna have to find out, but in the due time, at least we're getting a good amount of episodes of one of the shows that not only has me very interested in the plot, but it also has me pretty freaked out to know that this is how people are really going about this and how they're treating everybody. So if that's the case, you better watch yourself, because someone's about to get straight bodied. We still haven't seen much from the old man who practically set this all in motion by trying to attack our main character. So we all got to remember that he's still on the veranda and probably scheming up something like we heard about him in the second episode. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am the Anime G, and thank you guys so much for allowing this channel to hit 100 subscribers. I can't believe it's happening this quick. I put up a lot of videos, but at the same time, the reason why I do that is because I'm a daily channel, unlike other channels that put in a lot more effort into the overall editing and wanting it to all look a certain type of way. I like to get out the content as quickly as possible to you and get to talk to my anime people as quickly as possible. So that's just how it is and how it be, and I hope you guys have an awesome one, and I hope to hear and talk to you guys in future videos that are going to be coming. So with all that being said, take care everybody, and peace.